I'm going to show you how to use the library database Academic Search Premier. You can find it under the Library Resources tab when you're logged into CampusWeb. Academic Search Premier is a multidisciplinary database, which means that you'll find articles and journals from all sorts of subjects, from pop culture to academic topics and more. Once you get onto Academic Search Premier, I would suggest creating an account. By creating an account, you'll be able to save articles that you find into a folder that'll be accessible through Academic Search Premier once you log on from any computer. This way you won't have to print out every article you want to see or save it to a flash drive or anything like that. You can just log right onto a computer and access them at any time. You can get there by clicking the sign in button and then clicking to create a new account. I would suggest making a screen name and password similar to what you use to log into CampusWeb, or maybe if you have the same kind of username and password that you use for a lot of different sites, that way you won't forget it. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And you'll see up top, it'll have your name, so you'll know that you're signed in. The search tool on Academic Search Premier works like any other database or even Google. You can type in your search terms here, and then you can search different fields like the author, the title, subject, even through all the text of the article, not just an abstract or a summary or the title. Down below you'll see the other facets that you can use to narrow down your search. I wouldn't recommend using these tools right off the bat because you're not really sure what kind of results you're going to get at first. If you do your general keyword search and it comes back with thousands of articles, then yes, that's when you would want to pare down your search to make it a little more manageable. But as you can see, there's all sorts of options. You can select here and just look at peer-reviewed articles. This means that it'll take any newspapers or magazines or less reputable sources out of your searches. You can even look at the document type. Not every document that comes back is going to be an article. It could be a book review or even text from a book. If your instructor tells you that your article or sources can't be any older than, say, 5 years, this is where you can use the published date. You can say published from 2006 to today. Publication type is also important because that, again, gives you a better idea of what kind of results you're going to get. You can select to get sources just from periodicals, newspapers, books, or even primary source documents, which could help you on some assignments. I'm going to go back up and do a search, and just kind of to show you the different types of topics and publications that you can find within Academic Search Premier, I'm going to do a pop culture search, and this time I'm going to be searching for Jersey Shore. You may have noticed that I used quotation marks when I typed in my search terms. This is because when a database uses your search terms, it looks at them separately. So without the quotation marks, Academic Search Premier is going to look for any articles that have the word Jersey or the word shore anywhere in them. So you can get any article about any shore or New Jersey or any other kind of jersey out there, even a football jersey. So by putting the quotation marks around the phrase, it's just going to look for that exact phrase, any article about Jersey Shore. Of course, here you still need to be careful because the Jersey Shore is a place, so you may still get some results that don't fit what you're looking for. But I'm going to go ahead and click search, and you can see the kind of articles that we got. This one is from Rolling Stone, and here's one from People magazine. You may have noticed along the left too, that's kind of where you can again pare down your results, kind of like the page we were just on. It'll show you how many results you got to begin with. We're only looking at full text articles, and you can see the publication date. Now if I'm talking about a TV show that's only been in existence for the last few years, I know right off the bat that I'm not going to have any sources from 1952. So I'm going to go ahead and refine my results up until 2002 and click update, and you could see it weeded out about 20 article results. You could see your other options down here where you can limit by source type. So say you just want to look at a magazine or a newspaper. Obviously this topic wouldn't be the best to research in an academic journal, but there's other options. You can look at the subject. You can see it has some of the actors and actresses from Jersey Shore. The publication, again, you could see the kind of articles and sources that you're going to get from newspapers, popular magazines. And again, you can look in the publication type that way. When you found your results and you find an article that you actually want to read, you can do so by clicking the name of the article. This view that you'll have here is called an abstract. This is essentially a summary of the article, but it also gives you all the important information you need to create citations. You can see you've got the author, the name of the journal, the date, and the issue, as well as the page numbers. When it comes time to actually read the article, on the left-hand side you'll see that you're on the detailed record, but that there's another selection here for HTML full text. You may also see a button that reads PDF full text, but that's what you need to click in order to read the entire article. If you come across an article that doesn't have a button like this, it just says detailed record, that means that MPCC doesn't subscribe to that title within this database. If that article is absolutely important for you to read, you can contact a librarian and we can try to get the article from another college. Keep in mind that that process usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks, so that's not really a good idea if you're waiting till the last minute. But here you can see the article opened up and you can read through the article just like it appeared in the magazine. Unfortunately, you can't get the pictures or anything like that when it's HTML full text. If it were PDF full text, you would be able to see a scan from the magazine. But on the right-hand side, you can see the different tools for this article. You can see you can add it to a folder, which again, works if you're signed in. You can print the article, email it to yourself, save it to your computer. There is also an option to create a citation for this article. I don't normally suggest that students use this tool because sometimes the citations are incorrect. You have to remember that it's just a computer creating these citations, so sometimes they'll invert the names or have have something not italicized or italicized when it's not supposed to be. So while you may be able to use this as a guide, if you can't figure out who the author is, clearly you can see it'll show you who the author is. But I wouldn't suggest copy and pasting this citation right from this article. Just to show you how it works, I'm going to go ahead and add this article to my folder. And there it is. You could see a little confirmation down here of what's in your folder. And you can even go to your folder view. And again, it shows you that article, and here it is. I don't have to go back and search for it. It's right there for me. I'm going to try a new search, and we're going to do this one a little differently. If you have a general topic, but you're not really sure what you want to feature about that topic, you can go ahead and try searching by subject terms. This will just kind of give you a general idea, and it will help you narrow down your topic before you even make a search. I would suggest clicking on term contains down here in the search part, because that'll give you a little more wider room for play, and if you make a typo or perhaps the database doesn't recognize the topic you're trying for, it'll kind of help you get there a little easier. I'm just going to search for immigration, because that is a topic that you can really cover a lot of different aspects of. So I'm going to type it in and click browse. And you'll see all the different immigration related topics that come up. Now for this one, I'm curious about immigration enforcement, so I'm just going to go ahead and click the word immigration enforcement, and you'll see that you get related topics. So make sure that you check off immigration enforcement, and then perhaps you find a topic in here that you like. Okay, I'm interested in deportation. If you check that box as well, you can make it into a search term that'll search both. You'll see here, this is how you add them. Before you add them though, I would suggest considering these Boolean operators. What they'll do is it'll take the term immigration enforcement and deportation. But you have options here. You can either search any article that has both immigration enforcement and deportation in it, an article that just has one or the other, for which you'd pick or say you want to talk about immigration enforcement but you want to exclude deportation, you can pick not. For this search, I'm going to pick the word and then go ahead and click add. You'll see in the top of the search bar that it's formulated your terms into a search, and you can go ahead and click search. You'll see that you only got 9 articles, and that's very important because you can see how much it pared down your search. You can look at the different articles. I'm going to click here on article number 4, and again, just click the title. And you can see the abstract again. This one is unique because you can see it does have the PDF full text. Therefore, it'll include images in your article as well. You can see by clicking the PDF full text, you'll get that PDF file. It has color graphs and everything included. If you read the article and you decide it's not for you, or you just want to move on, you can just go back and click the detailed record, and it'll bring you back to your search results. You may notice that some of the articles have a link to something called cited references. What this will do is show you any article that this author has cited and used as sources in his article. Sometimes they're not always available to read on EBSCOhost, which you can see is the case for most of these. They don't have a title that you can click. The least you can do is add your folder. Again, if you find an article like this that you think is pertinent to your subject, you can go ahead and request it from the library. These are the basics of Academic Search Premier, and if you have any further questions, contact your librarian for help.